Hey folks, Jake from Pod Casty For Me here. This is a preview of a bonus episode from our Patreon feed, Paid Costly For Me. If you like this and you want to hear more, you can head on over to patreon.com/podcastyforme, where for $5 a month, you can get a new bonus episode every other week. That's patreon.com/podcastyforme. Enjoy! Where's everybody on Jackie Brown?
Mostly where's Jane? Let's start with, where are you on Jackie Brown?
Where's everybody Jane first?
Yeah. I love it. I actually only watched it for the first time not too long ago, maybe about 3 or 4 months ago, weirdly enough. I had a weird history with this movie because I bought it on Blu-ray in high school all the way back on a Black Friday and then just never watched it. It just I'm sure it's still like sitting in my parents' house. And then I watched every other Tarantino film despite owning this one. Yeah. And then finally I was just going through my watch list of like, what's the oldest things that I have listed on I was like, I should probably just watch this finally. And I was like, wow, this is really good. Might actually be, it's either this or Inglourious Bastards that I think is his best film. So
I think perfectly reasonable take.
I'm right there with you on that on that take.
It's definitely his most human film. Like that's what what's most surprising about it is like how understated for it. I mean, it's still very it's got a lot of his hallmarks and stuff, but it's very understated for a film of his.
Oh, we should say for the listener, Tel Aviv resident Quentin Tarantino has also directed a number of films.
Yes.
I mean, I think I'm right there with you because I think in part because the film is adapted from the work of a human. It has human.
I think that's key. Yeah.
Emotion to it. Ian, what about you? Where are you with Jack Brown?
I think I watched this film because you told me how much you liked it. I mean, I had already seen probably most of Quentin Tarantino stuff and was just getting around to it. And I liked it a lot the first time. This time, I loved it even more. I was just
Was this only your second viewing?
This is only my second viewing. And I think, going in, I had some of the same experience people had at the time and people have talked about endlessly since, which is like, they were expecting Tarantino rhythms and you kind of have to like find the pacing of the movie because like you're saying, Jane, it'll sort of like trick you by doing some of the Tarantino fast editing, hyper stylized like fantasy stuff for a couple moments. And then it will just drop down into like a totally different register. And I think this time also just having aged, I think the film is a film that rewards being a more aged person and sort of like seeing how that affects the way people live and make decisions. So I thought it was like genuinely moving this time and found myself surprisingly tearing up at the in a final scene. With you. Yeah,
I mean, and the guy was only like 34.
That's what I was going to say. I was like, it's interesting that this is like a film that you would expect like his final film to be. Absolutely. And it's like his third film right in the middle of like when he's like at his most like Tarantino, the young hotshot of Hollywood or whatever. It makes this like really, down to earth film about like aging and trying to like, find peace and meaning in your life still like in the later half of your life. It's very interesting.
And oh, sorry, go ahead. No.
Oh, I was just going to say, I was wondering how much of that was just because it's a novel written by a much older man. So Tarantino and the changes that Tarantino makes to the novel, I think are only positive. Like they're like just the decision to like, cause I don't think in the novel, like the main character is black. So changing that, I do actually think that was like a really big positive change to the film for the better. But yeah, I think it's just a combo of like Tarantino, like for once having to work with someone else's material, just being able to elevate that, which it makes me kind of wish he did it more often sometimes, but
I totally agree. And I think I was surprised because even saying Tarantino adapting someone else's work maybe helps him find some of this stuff. We've just watched 2 other Elmore Leonard movies and they're like faster paced. And obviously I think Out of Sight is an extremely human film, but I think they are more in the fantasy register than this one is. So, the fact that he, of all of the three I bought a
churro from there yesterday.
That's great. Sure.
The fantasy register.
I think, I don't know. I guess I'm still surprised because I think even critics at the time pointed out that like adapting a novel, it's so easy to take the most cinematic and like fastest moving pieces. And in some ways that's like the conventional wisdom, right? It's to like find the stuff in the book that is most clearly cinematic. And he sort of decides not to do, like you're saying, Jane. And then the changes that he makes tend in the opposite direction. And given that he's also drawing from blaxploitation, if somebody told me that the slowest and most human Quentin Tarantino film is the one where he's most explicitly drawing from blaxploitation films, I would be shocked. I guess I am shocked in this moment.
First of all, I just want to say quickly, if you don't love me now, you will never love me again. I can still hear you saying you will never break the choin. Ian said choin. Second, I think a lot of that humanity and that gentleness, that grace that is in the film is like the best outcome of Tarantino's fetishization of these performers.
It's like just youthful admiration of these people.
Yeah, and it's so fascinating the way that his particular fetishes play out, because like you have obviously Bridget Fonda's bare feet basically in 4D.
Yeah.
And then, but then you have Pam Grier, whose career began with these films that very thoroughly objectify.
Jack Hill style. Yeah.
Foxy Brown, Coffee, Friday Foster, where she's often like either scantily clad or naked, and usually like some like guy rips the clothes off of her.
Yeah.
These characters are almost always like going undercover as sex workers, which is something that only a guy who's trying to figure out how to write in a bunch of nude scenes would come up with. But when she's in this film, she's like always fully clothed. Like she's her body is not being objectified. And it's like he has given her the gift of this film. Like he really goes out of his way to make this movie, to make the novel have a Pam Grier role.
Yep.
Like in the swapping of the race and the changing of the character's name from Jackie Burke to Jackie Brown as an homage to Foxy Brown.
Mm-hmm.
Want to hear the rest of the episode? Go to patreon.com/Pod Casty For Me and sign up for just $5 a month. We're sorry we do this.